to leave from here and make that same mistake. And I'm excited to learn from their expertise. I'm going to introduce everybody that's sitting here in front of you, and then we'll get to hear from them. I'll just ask the questions. To my immediate left is Joyce Miller, and Joyce Miller's life has been sculpted in amazing ways, from living and gardening on 3 continents in 3 climate zones for nearly a third of her life, living nearly a third of her life outside the U.S. 8 years ago, she met a teacher at Kirkwood, enthused to establish a school garden. Thus began her initiation into the world of children and nature. At the time, she was 3 years retired from baking beautiful hearth breads at New Pies Bakehouse. Joyce has also taken a permaculture course, which threw into the air all of her ideas of food production and social justice. Gardens, and more specifically school gardens, are where this new, refreshing, optimistic outlook are being implanted. And Joyce comes to us with a lot of perspective of how to make a school garden flourish in an after-school, outside-of-school environment. And I know Miriam's also here with a lot of knowledge from how to connect school gardens to after-school, so you should talk to both of them if you're interested in that model. Kay Linsley is a Montessori preschool educator at Willowin School in Iowa City. While at Willowin, she's earned Farm to Early Care and Education grant funding through the state of Iowa, which she has used to begin a garden and food education program with the preschoolers. She has a degree from the University of Iowa in cultural anthropology with a certificate in human rights. Prior to teaching, she worked throughout the food industry in professional and private kitchens, in management, and on multiple farms. She lives in Iowa City with her husband, a dog, a cat, 3 backyard chickens, and a large front yard garden. Cathy Panthera is currently completing her last semester in the teaching education program at the University of Iowa for elementary education, and will have endorsements in reading and science. During the summer, she works as an outdoor educator for Taproot Nature Experience, and previously she earned a BA in Spanish and a BS in biology from Iowa State, and went on to complete 2 years of Food Corps AmeriCorps service at Central Community School District in Elkader, Iowa. There she collaborated with teachers, staff, and community to provide students with lessons on healthy eating, after-school cooking and garden clubs, and access to fresh fruits and vegetables. As a teacher, she hopes to combine her love for the outdoors and dedication to social justice to bring her students knowledge that fosters healthy bodies and healthy communities. And lastly, Jen Cardos. Jen Cardos works as a health coach for Epic Functional Medicine Center and teaches and designs landscapes for Backyard Abundance as an educational nonprofit here in Iowa City. And her passion is enhancing individual wellness by reconnecting people to healing food and the restorative power of nature. Jen has worked extensively to help teachers find ways to extend their learning into the garden through curriculum integration and supportive garden designs. Jen has also served on the Iowa City Community School District Integrative Pest Management Working Group for the past several years. She holds a BS in Chemical Engineering and an MA in Education. She has an accredited certificate in horticulture therapy and is completing a health coach certification through the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy. Ooh. It's a lot of
I'm a lifelong learner.
Yes, there's a lot of great stuff. Reading that makes me excited to hear all your answers to these great questions I have for you. So I have a few questions, and I'm going to just start by asking each of you to give us all a brief overview of your connection to school gardens, including your motivation for getting involved in school garden work.
I got initiated into, I'm not sure if this is actually working, is that close enough? Introduction to school gardens by making a connection with a teacher at Kirkwood Elementary School. And it was one of those sort of chemical things, you just really get on with some people, and we clicked and we went to a training course together, and then they were at Kirkwood just beginning to lay the groundwork for starting the garden. And she was the real moving force, the sort of mover and shaker in the school. She got everybody on board. It was pretty amazing. And one Saturday in early